When your teenager is heading for a mistake, should you step in or step back? Today, we're going to unpack a real story, biblical principles, and a perspective from the Lord that brings clarity to this parenting dilemma. Welcome to Real Talk by Brave Moms Academy, where we tackle the conversations Christian moms can't afford to avoid: parenting, relationships, boundaries, faith, and everything in between. We're here to help you navigate it with confidence and Christ centered wisdom. If you know a mom who needs to hear this, please subscribe and send this to her. We know that you probably know 10 moms that need this. So please pass it on. Katie, I want to hear from you what we've been talking about in our community this week. Will you share with us the story, a brave mom's story, please?
Yes, this is so good. I'm going to tell a story from the coaching room and what we talked about as far as parenting teenagers who are doing scary stuff. And then I would love to hear what the Lord shared with you about your own family. And we're going to give you something to walk away with that you can be thinking about. So the story that we heard this week in the BMA room, that is BMA, Brave Moms Academy. And the room is like our mastermind where parents parent together and they heal their marriages. Ladies heal their marriages by applying these skills. It's so rad. And we had a student come this week with a question because her daughter was talking to a dude on her phone, texting, and it was the kid they had asked her not to communicate with because there's some rough stuff going on there. Like, the kid comes from a rough background and they don't know what's going to happen here. You know what I'm saying? All the mamas, the girl is talking to a boy. Okay. And there's actually a history of kind of like it's kind of like friends that are family. These are like family friends. And so they know what's going on in the background and they have concerns. Now, their daughter kind of rebelled against their and was communicating with him on her phone when they didn't want her to be. So when they found out, they removed the phone. Can I get an amen? Any moms want to be like, phone back, please. Not an unusual or judge-worthy response. Not a wrong thing to do. But they had the phone from her for about 6 months. And then when she got her phone back, what do you know? She's texting this kid again. And so this mom was like, I really want to preserve my connection with her. I want to help her with what's going on. It doesn't seem like we have the kind of transparency that we can just like let her have a phone, but we want to build that. And it's a surprise, like as soon as she got her phone back, she's texting this boy again. And my immediate thought, my unfiltered thought was, well, of course she is, because punishment doesn't work. And then I was like, Lord, why do I think of that as punishment? And so I was thinking through one of the things we talk about in BMA, the difference between punishment and just allowing hard things, is that punishment is often unrelated to the thing we want our kid to learn. So this is unrelated. What we want her to learn about is how to talk to this kid, who to talk to and who not to talk to, and what to share with them and what not to share with them. That's what we need her to learn, right? In order for her to become safe and responsible and trustworthy. Taking the phone away doesn't teach her anything about that. And here's what I thought about that I shared with this mama. If I wanted to drive to Starbucks to get a coffee, because I do want to drive to Starbucks, and instead of me learning about my coffee propensity, someone took my car away. Like, I don't want you doing that. And they took my car. I'm thinking as a teenager, it would have been visit my boyfriend's house. So they took my car. As soon as I got my car back, I would just want to go drive to Starbucks, or I would want to go drive to my boyfriend's house. So the mechanism doesn't match the issue. That's what I meant by punishment. By no means do I think they're being too harsh. I think that they want to protect their daughter, and so it makes sense. Here's what I would say. And here's what we talked through with this family. What's needed in order for the parents to feel comfortable with her having her phone is a greater measure of transparency between teen and adult. And what's happening right now is actually the level of trust and connection that they have is just being revealed. It's not being created right now. She's not suddenly rebelling against her parents and hiding things from them. The fact that she is hiding things is just a piece of data that tells them where we're at with her. Where I'm at with my kid is she doesn't tell me everything. And I think it would be easy for that to be alarming and scary instead of a data point on what actually is going on in this relationship. What is going on is she does not want to tell you things. And the hard truth is you can't make her want that. And the more you try to make her want that, the less she's going to want it. These trust pillars are built in childhood. What this family is waking up to is they're not built. That doesn't mean they can't be built. But at this point, with as much control this girl has over her own life, it's going to take more intentionality than it would have as a little one. And it's going to take teamwork. So here's the deal with teenagers is you're actually collaborating with them on your relationship. Because before you know it, they have every right to just never speak to you again. They've got a car, they've got a phone, they need to learn to be adults, they have these liberties. We have to negotiate with them and collaborate on their freedom and this relationship. Are you getting what I'm saying? We have to like get a grip on the idea that we're now collaborating on how much trust we're going to have. So here was my advice to them is to explain to her, oh, this cough is so explain to her that you can have as much freedom as like in equal measure to how much transparency we have with you, and share your heart with her. Like, hey, look, this was scary for us. And we don't want to just remove your access to communicating with whoever you want to talk to. What we really want is for you to have all kinds of freedom and for us to know what's going on. So let's work toward that together. So the phone goes back to the daughter. She agreed to be in greater transparency with her parents. And then the cool thing is she's telling them now why she doesn't want to talk to them. And that's what you need to know as a parent. What is it your kid is experiencing around you that makes them want to throw the walls up and just go rogue and do it on their own? Because that's where you get to go to work. And I am not saying that you bend over backwards and compromise who you are to make yourself comfortable and helps get someone to talk to you. I am not talking to you about compromising your values, your integrity, or the standards at home. I am saying it is your responsibility to find out why she doesn't trust you enough to just be transparent and to clear those things up. Also, part of building trust is the fullness of honesty, which is like, hey, that was scary for us. And hey, I understand some of the things you're going to tell me. I'm going to feel scared about, and I'm going to process those feelings. And I am going to be open with you about the risks of all the things that you're dealing with. Can we navigate this together? You're really asking for a teammate. I hope that helps. And Alyssa, I'd love to hear like what you've been experiencing and how this connects to your family.
Yeah, I think that was great. It's helpful for me to hear you say that, even though we've already been talking about it this morning. I have had a recent experience with this exact thing with one of our kids, and have had the same feelings of this mom that you're describing. And when I went to my daughter about it, um, it was came to her with a conversation, trying to be like proactive. That's how I came to her with it. I said, hey, I realize you're getting older. I realize that it is my responsibility, our responsibility as your parents, to allow you more freedoms as you grow so that we set you up for success when you turn 18 and you leave us. But with that increased freedom, we're going to need increased trust and honesty between us for us to be able to do that without being afraid. It would be easy for me to jump to fear, not knowing what's going on in your head. And that conversation between her and I opened up my eyes to the reality, like you're talking about. I got some great data, some feedback that a couple years ago would have crushed me, but now I see it as great data. I see it as a door with a knob with access. That picture that you were talking about yesterday, like you see a door, and some people can see it as um, more of a wall, like you have no access. Or you can look at the knob and you can see that this is actually, there is a point of entry here. Let's go after that part. So I see this now as a point of entry into closer relationship with her. Now I can hear her say that, and I can ask her more questions, and I can thank her for being honest with me. So that was really great, even though I would say on paper, or not not having gone through the work of having identity transformation for myself. I don't know, I'm probably going into too much detail, but all the work through VMA has led me to this point where I can hear that and not take it as an attack, if that makes sense. So this morning, I was
Can
telling
we talk
Katie,
about that for a second? Let's talk
yeah,
about that for a second. So I think that's probably where a lot of our listeners are at is like, my daughter isn't talking to me. Where did I go wrong? Like, my teenager is going to do whatever they're going to do. I screwed it up. I blew it. And I bet you're thinking about all the 8 times that you blew it and wishing you could go back. And I want to tell you, the Spirit of God does not do regret. So listening to that gutting thought in your head that is like, I screwed this up. I can't fix it. It's my fault. That is all a spirit of blame, shame, and condemnation. And Christ has so much for you on the other side of that thinking. And you can just let it go because he paid for it. The reality is you're exactly the right mom for your kiddo. And you are both on a journey of your identity being restored. And when you do that journey in front of her is where all the good stuff happens. You're like, hey, I would have faced this a year ago and I would have thought I failed you as a mother. I realize now that has nothing to do with this. What matters to me now is that I get over my fear and you and I go to war for our connection. That's what matters to me now. You tell me what you need from me. This is a completely different stance than flipping out that we blew it. And so that's super important note. Yeah.
yeah, that was a great way to say it. Thank you for clarifying that. So because of that, because of what you just said, I was able to go to the Lord and come to Him with my really honest feelings about being fearful. Uh, because I don't know what's going on in her head, and because I hear that she actually told me, I don't want to be honest with you. I don't want to tell you things. Um, so I was able to tell the Lord that and ask Him, what do I do about that? What's next? I see where our past conversations, our relationship leading up to this has caused her to feel like she can't come to me with stuff. So how do I move forward and what do I focus on? And I heard the Lord say to me, look at how I see you, Alyssa. Look at what I focused on with you and I. It's not about what you do. This is the Lord talking to me. It's not about what you do. That's the focus. It's about our relationship. That's always the bottom line. It's about my connection with you, your connection with me. Okay, so if you translate that to you and your daughter, that's the focus. It's not about what she is or isn't doing. It's about your connection to her. So what's the next right thing that you can do to um, create closeness with her? And that's just inviting her into being together, inviting her into a space where she feels like she can tell you things. Um, and that based on what she told me in our conversation, it was that I'm no fun. And she feels like she's doing something wrong if I ever want to talk to her one on one. So that was like, oh, data. Okay. So in order to create or invite her into these opportunities to be close, her and I need to go do some fun things together where we don't even talk about stuff deep, but we just go have fun together one on one. We need to heal that part of our relationship. And is it fixed today because of that? No. I know it's going to be a journey to get that closeness with her that I desired to get that honesty, her heart wanting to tell me everything. I know it's gonna be a journey, but I trust the Lord and what He says, and I trust that He is a better father to her than I am a mother to her, and that He's got it. He's got her, and He's got me, and He's got our relationship in His hand.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. So well said. What it's not about what she's doing, it's about your connection to her. And the way the Lord connects to us is that He's fully transparent with us. He's told us everything about Himself and he's made himself 100% vulnerable to humanity to the point that we killed him. He was like, hey, do what you want with me. And so this connection we have with our kids, I know it was so amazing hearing as an adult, hearing stories about when my parents were teenagers, things I didn't know about them until I was an adult, and what it would have done for me to hear about their journey when I was in it, because I just thought they were untouchable, better than me, had it together. They're all grown up and they don't understand me. So they're so like such a cool, gosh, we went from like you could have felt like so condemned and like you failed her and ruined your relationship, all the way over to not even just that's not what this is. I'm just looking for data, all the way through to look at the relationship we get to build. Like, what are we going to go do together? And what is she about to experience that she's going to need someone in her corner for? And how cool is it going to be that I'll get to be there? Like, oh my word, what a cool shift. And I just want y'all to know, God is writing a story over generations. If he wanted you to be the savior, he would have made your name Jesus and you would have been born 2000 years ago. He would have asked for your sacrifice on a cross. That's not who you are. You were born with a package the way you relate. It came down to you from generations before you. Your job is to open up that package. And I dare say, open up that package with your kids. Hey, here's how I grew up. Here's how I saw things. This is what I thought about myself as a teenager. And God's healing all those things in me now. In fact, I was just crying this morning because I realized I had this thought about myself still. This kind of transparency is where real healing begins to happen and a generational shift starts. You're not the be all end all. You weren't born a perfect mom. Nobody taught you how to do this. You just get to heal in front of them because they got stuff, I promise you, from growing up with you that they need to heal from. Begin that now. You can just start that now by doing it in front of them. That's so awesome. Oh my gosh. What could be more special than that? Like, my kids get to go on a healing journey, healing the things that I did to them. That's going to be the greatest honor of my lifetime, is the ways I wounded my own kids. I want to build a relationship with them, have built, and will continue to build a relationship with them that they can unpack those things with me. And that comes from unpacking my stuff around them as well, obviously as the leader and with discretion. But it's what we're doing around here in the Brave Moms world. We are not getting scared and going away. I want to leave you with this thought. We talk about this a lot. The difference between Brave Moms Academy and like a more therapeutic or psychologically sound or gentle parenting or worldly view of emotion is this. The world wants your kid to feel safe. I want your kid to feel scared and I want them to do things anyway. I would like for you to feel scared because that means you're in a place where God's got to move. Do you know what I'm saying to you? I want you to be walking forward in growth and healing to the point where you don't know what's about to happen next, because that's when God shows himself to be who he is. And that is when you find out who you actually are inside. So do I want you to feel safe? Yeah, but go do something scary and become safe in it. Okay. Yay. That's what brave parenting is about. Alyssa, did you have something to say, or are you just talking to someone else? Okay, awesome. we're still fresh at this. I hope you're enjoying this little like live stream podcast journey with us. It's been so exciting and fruitful for us. We'll keep you posted on live events and things you can jump into to get some real work done together. That will be lots of fun. I'm also going to be creating some like worksheets, so you could watch an episode like this and then like do a little journal brainstorm. If that would be cool, somebody tell me like worksheet in the chat, or tell me if you're inside BMA and you're like, please make those worksheets for my buddies. We will go ahead and do that. Please share this with a friend. I want to reiterate that. You've heard the episode now, you know what's in here, and you're thinking of someone you've been praying for. I want you to know I bother people all the time with my stuff, and I have had to learn it's not bothering them. People are busy, they forget. They need someone to wave their hand and say, I see you, I care about you, this content is for you. It's like throwing them a life ring over and over again. Eventually they grab it and they're so glad you threw it 28 times. Please don't be scared to bother them. Send them the episode and we will see you on Monday, 9 a.m. PST, if not before then. Reach out to us at hello@Brave Moms Academy at any time. You are so brave.